Let's make this a vaguely historic day for unboxings of APBA Pro Basketball. Of course, Tebow just received a great gift from fellow Hall of Famer Jim Shea and unboxed an 80 and 81 season set. So let's go back to the original here. We've been sitting on these for a good while. We've gotten so far as reading the rules, but do follow Tebow as he posts on Between the Lines. I'm curious, and I'll post a link to his video here. And we've gone back to the original first year of issue, the 65-66 game issued in 1966. And let's just read the write-up that Mr. Schmeier gave in 40 Years of APBA. Page 19, he talks about the basketball game. All right. To wit, he writes, or wrote, in May 1966, the most controversial APBA game hit the market. The APBA Pro Basketball game was obviously the most complex of Seitz' creations and has probably received more criticism than any of the other APBA products. Though the player has the option of playing a long 2 hours or short 1 hour version of the game, the prime fan complaint appears to center on the player's inability to recreate the realism of the real-life basketball game, especially in the statistics. Since nearly all these fans cut their APBA teeth on the baseball and or football game, there would seem to be some validity to these criticisms. At least one cannot fault these APBA players with a lack of understanding of the basic APBA principles. As with football, the basketball game is measured not by a clock, but rather by the number of plays executed. As the game's brochure explains, and we'll check that out in here, the timing system is based on the actual volume of floor play, so that the less passing and dribbling you do, the higher the scores are likely to be, exactly as in real life. Yet passing and dribbling are limited to by APBA's equivalent of the 24-second rule. The timing system is in no way affected by the actual clock time you take to play the game. It was also in 1966 that APBA offered extra player cards, 4 to a team, to the standard 20 per team for the baseball game. There you go. And that is 3 years before, well, technically 4 years before the XFs came to the football game. And on and on and on there. But that is the brief look at the APBA basketball game. Here we have the original season. We have a couple of them here. Well, it's just not in the greatest shape, you know. They're not all mint, are they? But it's still here. You get actually a nice little insight, possibly into or someone was either trying to protect this, maybe, is what was going on there. Just that typically great art up top, and the small box and all that good stuff. Now, this is cool because someone actually completed some score sheets. What? And looks like they got through the game. Jerry Zajac in the National Card Football League, he's played the game. Tom Freikels has been playing the game as well, so check it out. I'm surprised that our APBA basketball kind of remembrance page, we got some brochures and cards up there. We've kind of let it languish, but even without creating content for it, that page has got about 163 likes, 174 followers. In the 90s, we saw the smaller version of the game. In fact, let's take a look at that now. This is the basketball game that APBA retooled for the 90s. I believe it plays a little quicker, so we'll add this to the unboxing here. But back to the original 65-66 season, a nice Celtics championship there. There are your rules. And let me just see if I can, well, here's the timing the rule game. There are 384 dice rolls per game. The upper right corner of the score sheet provides space for marking off each die roll. After every 96 timer rolls, stop playing and record the total team points for that quarter. And you can check that out right there. So, you know, it's 2 hours. If you're saying 2 hours, you know, it's interesting. I'll put the link to this. Plaay posted in 2020 about a basketball game they had apparently had under development. Of course, we know 4th Street Software has got board and PC versions, and you got Brian Haferkamp, up-tempo basketball. But, you know, so there's clearly some continued interest in basketball games. Brian Aldrich talked extensively about his method with 4th Street basketball. But and just looking at the roster here, a little eaten up there. But if 2 hours, as per 40 years of APBA, I mean that's a pretty sound game, So the whole joke is, I started my game in 1979 and all that stuff. It's certainly the butt of jokes. Certainly, I mean this is a little wavy. Why not? But no odor, I must say. But I mean it's got that classic APBA, looks like a flight manual for a B-17 kind of a thing with navigation instructions. And here's a cool little piece of memorabilia here. Publication for all APBA game owners, APBA Report. Now we know the journal, we know the innings, but what about this one? Don't remember. I've been thinking about starting an APBA football journal. It kind of gets sidelined. Look at this. It's just waiting to be played. Look at this. It's just waiting to be played. But somebody, oh my goodness, it looks like one of my school papers, all the bad eraser. Remember the eraser would go bad, it would go stiff, and he's still trying to use it. It's like, I can't let it go. But you've got some score sheets here, man. It's amazing. What do we got here? I got, do we have final Boston? The Philadelphia edges Boston 113-108. Very nice, very nice. The a one-pointer, LA over Baltimore. Some darn good reading here. Look at this, man. And here's one. I don't know. Well, you have to check out your rosters there. In any case, see who that was. But there's your, And this is 65-66. This is a little bit before the Stratomatic kind of football board, I believe. So that's kind of cool. And just love it's a great-looking board. It's a great-looking board. And as Tebow showed off his much more pristine-looking... Oh, does this? Yeah, we're going to go. The field goals and the passing and dribbling, kind of like the bowling game in that respect, and or the saddle game. They kind of have this look. Foul table number 3, and of course, I would just play if I were. Obviously, you're playing a certain year here, 65, 66. So you get all the little. Plus, you get this big plastic thing. All right, that's part of the. What else do we have? Some in terms of memorabilia here. Just this one little thing. APBA Basketball game. Court names and number strips. Number S67. Cut apart carefully with scissors on solid black lines. There you go. And away you go. And away you go. That's it. We love our New York Knickerbockers. Where are we? There we go. And in any case, let's take a quick look at some of the 65, 66 cards. Remember, you got your old... and there, I think is the culprit right there. Man, he wore it down, wore that sucker down. So, but I gotta tell you, the internals here are pretty decent. Let's again the old egg roll wrapper with a little. What do I got in here? I gotta tell you, speaking of the old dice size, I know we laugh about the the size of these old dice, but I wonder if they don't give a little more. I'm actually going to use these, but I feel like I've been in a bit of a rolling slump, and I'll get to that. Using bigger dice in the smaller thing here, but I feel like, whoa, we definitely got to cover your roll there. Oh, look at that! See, they love me already. You're the ones on deck, right? You from now on, that's it. Rest of the year. Until we lose, using that 66. This little set of dice right there. Yeah, you got your defense cards, 2, 3, and all this stuff. All the whatnot. F and E1. I mean, you could easily adapt this to a zone play for a football, something like that. I mean, there's so many ways you can do it. But it's nice because the APBA systems allow you that flexibility. They always have. Baltimore Bullets. Let's start right there. The old envelopes, the long envelopes, back to the 60s, reminiscent of the baseball and the football ones. And you'll see, most likely, this the old typography that appeared, at least in the football sense, starting with the 64 NFL season, that kind of squatter sans. It's definitely not a Futura. I really don't think so. But yeah, and they're all squared. Are they? Yeah, oh no, yeah, they're squared because you pull the top off, you pull the tab off to move guys around the field. The brown backs is what you got here. And we got, let's just see, we got Jerry Sloan, Bailey Howell, Jim Bad News Barnes. All right. We'll get to some of the Gus Johnson. Anyway, let's get to Jerry Egan, and let's get back over to. Let's pull that over there. Let's get to the Lakers and the Sixers and the Celtics, shall we? Let's get to the Celtics, and of course you get all the Havlicek, and you got the you move those around the board. You kind of place them on the board. Casey Jones, are we there? Oh my goodness, Don Nelson, Ron Bonham, Satch Sanders, Mel Counts, Bill Russell. Okay, but let's get to the real, cards there. There's Casey Jones. Case Jones right there. So you get the slightly different look there. Sam Jones, Mr. Bill Russell. And Hondo Havlicek. Well, there's a lot of great sets out there, and they did G-Tops for these as well. They did G-Tops 57-59, I think, 57-58 teams. They are out there. Haven't seen those. That would be a bit of a rarity. The Lakers here, just Mr. Jerry West. Very nice. Let's see. Bob Boozer, Stumpy Goodrich, Rudy LaRusso, Elgin Baylor. Yes, sir. And what else here? Let's just go check out some Sixers real quick here. Blinky Bianchi. Jerry Ward, Art Heyman, Bill Cunningham, Lucius Jackson. And, the one thing about these is that you see quite often the 1-1-1 down there. It's just cool to see. You see a lot of that there. Dave Gammy, Wally Jones. Oh, yeah. So, and again, when you see these, if you love the game, talk about uptake of a game. If you love basketball, you will plow through this like there's no tomorrow. You will learn this game. Once you get hooked on that, you will get completely hooked on getting this to work. You will make it work. This one is postmarked Lancaster, June 6th, 66. So this should be also a 66 in better shape. Oh, and this is the one that's really hard to close, but you love these old boxes. Form-fitting. And see if we have any of the brochures or anything here. Oh, we still get the, see, that's good packaging there as well. The name of the box is My Uncles Who Gave Me APBA Stuff Every Birthday and Christmas. How cool is that? So, that's why we like to preserve these games and completely unused. I mean, that's costly stuff. And this is how they've got the actual board set up here. You got the strips. Okay, you see the strips set up in there. So you get the little, very new age and all that kind of stuff. So hey, it's let's just see if there's anything approaching. No, there's not, but it's good to go. It's ready for action. And let's just move this baby over and check out. This should be the same card, 65, 66, and it's got that white thing there, and we got your rules, all that good stuff. And you get it's interesting. You get the two shakers in both games, so that's interesting to note. And there is the roster. It should be 65, 66. Okay. Very compact. Problem is, how many, you got to play about 100 games a team, 90 games a team. Ouch. Well, I mean, they're only 9 teams, though. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? And that's 65, 66 seasons. So it's, you can kind of figure, you got to do the math on it all. And we're going to crank this sucker up, too. We got to crank up some horse racing, too, and all that good stuff. So these, all these have been pulled except for a couple. The tabs have been taken off, some and not others. The Lakers, and as opposed to Elgin Baylor's. So in any case, and you've got the plastic component there. So that's a different version of the game. And I've got to put these dice over here. So whoa, oh man, I mean micro dots here, amazing. That's why the seller kindly put the and now this is a different one. So compare, we got the translucent and we've got the opaque kind of thing there. So we got the 2 versions of the red dye. Now let's just take a quick look at the the smaller box version here to compare how the game evolved a bit. And it's got the nice, more compact. This is the 90s. This has got the 92-93 set in it. A little more, more teams. More teams for sure. And the roster is this case, it looks like a copied roster. This is 92, 93, and 94. Might be 2, so 2 seasons in here. And that's just a copy of it. Let's move these out of the way. And you've gone up to the plastic shakers there, and you've got somebody taped the dice in there, and a little different looking, but you get these purple markers here, and you've got the and then the old game, by the way, had a quick rule to a quick play rule as well, but the rules are more compact. And this is the quick start. Select 2 teams, grab 2 teams. It's going to be our motto. But these are the quick play rules for the one side. Very nice. And the game board. Take the game home. Nicely done with the logos. They move the zones and all that stuff. Good looking. And this is the roster 92-93. So yeah, that's we got 2 season sets in here, I guess. And you've got the isn't that nice? Isn't that much more considerate? The smaller play charts. I tell you. Buzzer beater clock. Jumper, good. Wild shot. Brick off back rim. Game over. Air ball. Trouble inbounding. Timeout called. Shot off the line. Game over. The shot, it's good. Or is it? Did it come after the horn? Check the replay. Roll 1 die. If it's 1-3 counts. If it's 4-6, it doesn't. Beautiful, beautiful, simple stuff like that, right? And this, we already looked at that. Now let's take one deeper. Do we have any? Oh, we also got, so we have master symbols. What is this, possibly? Let's take a look at some of the, this is master symbol play allocator sheets. So, basketball 2, and, well, and on and on and on it goes. We'll dive into that later. This is one of the great APBA Journal ads. Get the most out of APBA. Subscribe to the journal. You remember these. And this is the Stats Inc. Nice little follow-on marketing there. And a couple score sheets redesigned. And no cool family history on this one, but you get the gist. So, you know, track them down. They're kind of cool. Like I say, I think there are about 10 G-tops with this. Something like that. I forget. And we'll take a look. The typography will be that larger serif type that you see with the football sets. It kind of got a little bigger in area from the time the serif type debuted with the 85 season sets, copyright 1986, like the 85 Bears we just played, and then proceeding to get a little larger in area and just slight tweaks to the type. There's some Steph Curry. Definitely want to play my, got some Alonzo Mourning there. I definitely want to find my Orlando Magic. They, well, that didn't really work out against the Rockets there. This is going to be in alphabetical order. Has not been used. No jokes, please. Still the same brown backs. By Penny. You know, Penny Hardaway. Greg Kite. And Shaq. Right here in Newark, New Jersey. 7'1", 301 pounds, born March 6, 1972. The big man himself there. And make sure we get them all. Scott and Skiles. That was a pretty cool period. It was a fairly decent start for the Magic, and a great team name. I'm going to create a fictional football team for APBA, and I'm going to base it in Orlando. Just have to come up with a name for it. In any case, so there's some basketball for you. Put some links to the currently available games, and hey, fingers crossed, maybe someday we'll see a new iteration from APBA.